All right. Welcome back to the channel. Jarrett Hurd says that Danny Garcia has a good chance of beating Errol Spence Jr. after having watched the Ivan Red Cash fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Thank you guys to everybody that supports the 3 tiers of this channel, the live streams that we do Monday through Friday, and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday mornings, the videos that we do daily, and the Patreon, and supporting the videos by becoming a channel member. Thank you guys so much for everybody that has joined and the people that will join. All right, so let's get into this. Jarrett Hurd, the former unified 154-pound champion, made his return to boxing this last Saturday against a guy last name Santana. I could tell that he was working on stuff in the fight. It pretty much was a paid sparring match for Jarrett Hurd. He spent a lot of time being defensive, showing a lot of, trying to outbox, really sticking a jab out there in the face of Santana, moving around the ring a lot. Later, in about the midway part of the fight, he started fighting more on the inside, trying to, bump up against Santana, block punches, roll with punches, catch and shoot punches. And then towards the last part of the fight, he tried to step 2 and really became like the way that Jarrett Hurd usually fights. Step 2, Santana really started laying into Santana, winds up dropping Santana with like 5 or 6 seconds, maybe 10 seconds left in the fight. And he walks out with a win. We talked about it on OG Boxing Talk. There was, people were, kind of mixed feelings about Jarrett Hurd, mostly that he didn't look very good. To myself, I was like, yeah, I see what he was trying to do. I see what he's trying to work on. If he wanted to knock out that guy Santana, he probably could have really pressed on him and got him out of there in round 3. But after the fight, in the post-fight press conference, he talked about Danny Garcia, and he mentioned that he thinks Danny Garcia has a chance to beat Errol Spence Jr. And he pointed out some real fair facts about Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia, who does not have a title, but is a former, kingpin in the 140-pound division, has some very good wins over guys like Lucas Matisse. He has some questionable wins over guys like Lamont Peterson. He's one of the first guys to expose the glass jaw on Amir Khan, but just a very, very solid fighter. And everybody that Danny Garcia has fought, it's been a tough fight for the guy. This fought him, and that includes the people that he lost to. That includes Sean Porter, and it includes Keith Thurman. Those are both close, competitive fights. And so if you look at the amount of experience Danny Garcia has at 140 pounds in championship fights, I think Danny Garcia said that he has fought like 11 world champions, right? When you're in there that many times, man, with a top level competition, you know what you're doing. And so a fight with Errol Spence Jr., for somebody to believe that Danny Garcia has a chance to beat Errol Spence Jr. or it'll be a very, very tough fight. Because when you say it's a tough fight, because that's what Jarrett Hurd said, that means you think that the guy has a chance to win. Because if it's tough, that means it should be close. If any fight is close, then there is a chance for the other guy to win. I'm not one of these guys that believe, and rarely will you hear me say that, oh yeah, this guy is fighting this guy, this is going to be a blowout. I have no doubt in my mind how this fight is going to turn out. And I never do that because I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't do fortune telling. I'll tell you that I believe this is going to be the outcome, but there's always a chance that it'll turn out another way. And I feel the same way about Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. I do believe that there are things that Danny Garcia does, and I agree with Jarrett Hurd. I do believe, along with his experience, that there are things that Danny Garcia does that could cause anybody problems. If Danny Garcia sits down on everything that he throws, Danny Garcia is going to punch when you punch, Danny Garcia is a very good counterpuncher. He's a smart fighter. That left hook, that no look left hook is a very, very dangerous punch. He's got a very nice straight right hand. He's got a nice hook to the body. He's just very, very fundamentally sound. And in the words of his father, Angel Garcia, he says that Danny Garcia, he beat you up slow, right? Because everything that he's hitting you with is gonna count. And if you're in there with him, he's gonna throw, similar to like Andy Ruiz. When Andy Ruiz was in with Anthony Joshua and they're exchanging punches, Andy Ruiz is not backing up out of there. Andy Ruiz is letting stuff fly. And he caught Anthony Joshua and winds up dropping Anthony Joshua, right? Man, the same thing could happen with Danny Garcia fighting anybody. That includes there's a chance for Errol Spence that to happen to Errol Spence. Now, Errol Spence fights at a very high guard, and similar to Red Cash, he's a southpaw. So I think that does take away, some of the options for Danny Garcia versus him fighting somebody that's a right-hander. And of course, that would be the same thing if Danny Garcia fought Terrence Crawford. We saw Terrence Crawford get hit by Igis Kavanaughis, and a lot of people believe that was a knockdown. It was definitely a very solid shot, and he hit him with more than just one solid shot. So Danny Garcia is the type of guy, man. He's a very, very dangerous fighter, man. So the fight with Errol Spence Jr., especially, I hate to use the word especially, because I trust that when Errol Spence Jr. says that he didn't sustain any serious injury, and thank God he didn't, have any, sustainable, any real injuries that are going to affect his career or prevent him from moving forward. I'll take him at his word. I'm looking at the Errol Spence Jr. that fought Sean Porter, Errol Spence Jr. that fought Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. that fought Lamont Peterson and fought Kell Brook. Look, man, that's going to be a tall task. That will be a tall task for Danny Garcia, a very tall task for Danny Garcia. And the reason why I would say that is I would think that Errol Spence Jr. with Danny Garcia is going to be a fight where Errol Spence Jr. would more than likely, the smartest thing for him to do, in my opinion, is to fight Danny Garcia more like he fought Mikey Garcia and less like he fought Sean Porter or Kell Brook, because of the counterpunching of Danny Garcia. I mean, if Errol Spence Jr., because one of the weaknesses of Danny Garcia is his foot speed. Now, I said this in OG Boxing Talk, man, like, I don't get that being Danny Swift Garcia and that, because there were two Swifts on that card, and neither one of the Swifts, Danny nor Jarrett Hurd, are very swift at all relative to the boxers that they're fighting. That's not the first thing that comes to my mind when I see Danny Garcia is swift. First, doesn't come to mind at all when I see Jarrett Hurd is swift, even though he's got a nice fast, he was sticking that jab. But you get my point. That's like a Curly. It's like a fat man named Slim and a bald man named Curly. That's Danny Swift Garcia and Jarrett Swift Hurd. It just doesn't resonate for me, man. So, but Jarrett Hurd knows his boxing, and that would be a difficult fight. And I think he also mentioned it'd be a very difficult fight for Manny Pacquiao. I do believe that to be the case as well. And less for the same, but primarily because of the age of Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao, and a lot of people, y'all don't want to fess up to this. I know a lot of you got caps in full G. I hope you're listening to me. A lot of you guys don't want to admit that, or maybe I saw it and you didn't see it. Okay, I don't think, maybe you wouldn't lie about it, but I don't believe that people appreciate how many times Keith Thurman was hitting Manny Pacquiao very flush with straight right hands. Very flush. Boom, dead in the middle of the face, head move back type flush with straight right hands. And that's what I think the issue would be with Manny Pacquiao and Danny Garcia. Personally, I think Danny Garcia beats Manny Pacquiao. And the reason that I do is because, again, he's going to punch when Manny Pacquiao punches. Manny Pacquiao's quick in and out, 3-4 punch combinations. Manny Pacquiao, you're not going to see this out of Danny Garcia when that happens. You're not going to see that. You're going to see some shots fly. When he does that, shots are going to fly from Danny Garcia. And I think Danny Garcia, number one, with that straight right hand, because you can see him hitting red cash with that often, early and often. I think that would be trouble. But look, man, a lot of people are, really taking a dump on the card that took place. I know that those were showcase fights. But man, come on. Showtime and the PBC have been given non-showcase fights for a while. Tough fights, good fights. And, come on, man. I've seen entire seasons, showcase seasons out of ESPN. Showcase seasons. It's been a whole showcase year out of the zone, with the exception of the World Boxing Super Series and some lucky and fights that we were lucky to watch because an upset took place. But anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.